This is the Bay Rider 269, a large hybrid bay that flies under the radar. However, a lot of the features that this boat has really make it stand out in a crowded segment. So come with us as we put this boat in the water and do an in-depth review. Before we get into that, huge thanks to BGS Marine Sales here in Pensacola, Florida for loaning us the boat for the review. If you need any sales, service, repair, fabrication, they're your one-stop shop here in Pensacola. And again, huge thanks to them for allowing us to do this review. So let's go ahead and get the boat in the water and I'll see you out there. Kincraft has done some pretty unique things with this boat that I think help it stand out amongst the competition. One, if you don't know, excuse me, I said Kincraft. They're now formerly known as Bay Rider. They've been in business for well over 50 years. They're located out of North Carolina, a very well-known or well-renowned boat builder out of North Carolina. Any quick Google search of their reputation will produce previous owners, current owners talking about how well their 21 Challenger, 25 Challenger, Bay Rider 219, how well they're holding up, how well they're aging. And when I look around this boat, I can definitely see how that would be the case. Bay Rider takes a lot of care in their build, and that is apparent in the fit and finish of not only the top side, but also the hull. When it was on the trailer, I did a full walk around, took a peek underneath, looked at all the lines, looked at how, you know, the sunlight glared off the side of the hull or the bottom of the hull, just, you know, to check consistency in their glass and in their molds. And they really are top notch. It is a fantastically built boat, and that is apparent when it's running and when it's riding. Now, again, in not perfect slick calm, the boat responded very well to any trim input, both from the motors and from the trim tabs. That's something I really like to see. I was going over some side swell from a sport fisher earlier, you know, kind of letting the bow dip down into the neck swell a little bit. And it tracked very, very well. Didn't require much input from me, didn't try and bow steer on me, anything like that. So the boat is extremely planted and feels very planted, but again, is also very sensitive to trim input, which I appreciate. One thing I absolutely love about Bay Rider is their hard tops. Very overbuilt, very well thought out, very well engineered. And as you can see by the pipework, which is extremely reinforced, this boat plans to stay around for a long time, and I don't think any type of structural rigidity or longevity is going to be of any concern. All right, so T-top is out of the way, built like an absolute fortress. Moving up to the bow here, anchor locker up on the very front. Good bit of space in there. Got an anchor in there, got latches to hold it down. Pre-wired for a trolling motor right there with your outlet. 2 anchor cleats. Then you have this very nice wraparound handle. Again, this is the portion of the boat that's trying to appeal to the family. Obviously, all of these cushions do pop off. And then underneath, you have obviously a full casting deck up here with the step up. All of the hatches have gas shocks, sealed. You got rod storage in here. While the other underside of the console boxes aren't finished completely, they are still very well laid out. All of your hatch hinges have backing screws, which is also welcome. That's going to limit any of those pulling out in the future. And they have these really nice rubber latches there. Again, the boat being built with longevity in mind. These are things that are A, going to stand the test of time, or B, if you ever need to replace this, they're readily available and easy to swap out. All right, now underneath this large pad up on the bow of the boat, you have a huge locker. As you can see, there is a bumper in there now and some bags that were on the cushions. You have large drain there to get rid of water in a hurry. So this is a great kill box or just storage if you have a lot of things that need to go somewhere in a hurry. All right, so I just pulled up this cushion right here that's to the right of that box we just talked about. As you can see, this creates a really nice casting deck. You still have deck space up there. Even if you had a trolling motor mounted, you would likely still be able to walk up here and utilize it if you needed to. While this isn't the most deck space I've ever seen on a bay boat, and specifically a bay boat of this size, it is really going to be plenty if you are enjoying that inshore fishing, casting from the deck, that type of thing. All right, while we're up on the bow, one last thing I'll mention is the way that these cushions mount to the deck. While I appreciate the ingenuity here and not going with simple buttons that are going to ultimately corrode out and pull out of the deck and the cushion, they opted with this. So we have two little inserts here and then two rubber receivers there. The idea is that you put it down and you push it into place and it snaps in. The first couple of times I did this, it took a minute. I had to really work at it, and once I kind of got a feel for what it felt like for them to settle in their holes, it was much easier to do. Still a little frustrating if you're the type of person that's going to take these cushions on and off the boat a lot. However, I do appreciate not having buttons. Anything's better than buttons, but just be mindful that they will give you a little trouble, or at least have a little bit of a learning curve before you kind of get, you know, in the rhythm of snapping them on and off. All right, next up is the centerpiece of the front of the boat, and that is this 45-gallon Livewell. Double gas hinges, huge acrylic lid. Got your fish ruler built into it, Bay Rider logo there. Nice sky blue color inside to keep the fish happy. Going to hold just about all the bait you would need, and very, very accessible from anyone fishing anywhere on the boat. So I will say this boat, if you like sound, if you like good sound, this boat absolutely excels. What really pulls and ties this system together is this ported 12 that they have right here. This is the first boat I've seen with a ported 12, and I've got to say, it absolutely impresses. There's a difference between bass and there's a difference between tuned rich bass, and this definitely has the latter. And the last piece of the audio puzzle is this. Everything runs into audio-wise. You can see how well it is laid out, how well it is wired, how accessible it is. Got that very nice acrylic plate over it. Really a focal point of the interior of the console. So I'm in the stern of the Bay Rider. As you can see, we've got two seats back here, very comfortable seats when the water you're on isn't so comfortable. Bay Rider did a really good job with the layout back here. You honestly feel like you have a ton of room thanks to this open transom design that they have. Also, setting back those motors the way they did is really helping give you this real usable space, right? So if 4 or 5 guys are on this boat fishing, you're not going to ever feel crowded back here. Really excellent use of space that we have in the stern here. All right, opening up the bilge access, as you can see, it is literally right here in the floor. Huge accessibility to everything you have in there, whether that's your bilge pump, whether that's your water pickup, whether that is your through-hole transducer. Really love this bilge access. Another Bay Rider 219. Gentleman just said he actually ordered one and it'll be here shortly. So yeah, if you're in the market for a larger hybrid bay, I would say this is a fantastic option. they're all going to have pros and cons. They're all going to have quirks, and they're all going to be trying to do something slightly better in one area than another. And I think when it comes to this 269, it does well from a layout perspective, fishability, also well layout perspective for a family boat. Do fantastic on the sandbar. It was very easy for me to get on and off, obviously being a bay boat. Overall, I was really impressed, really happy with how this boat rode, especially, you know, considering its size, both in length and in width, and considering what's powering it. I think this boat did fantastic. I think if you would like a little bit smoother ride over chop without so much trim tabs, or maybe just want to keep that bow down and planted a little bit more, maybe consider going with the single, the 350. I don't think the twins are a bad option, but I do think you just need to be mindful of what's going to happen to a bay boat this size when you do put twins on the back, especially when you put an offset jack plate like this one has. Again, still rides remarkably well, but I think there are some improvements that could be had with the single versus the twin. But obviously that's on the buyer to make that decision on what works best for them and their use cases. But that's just my opinions from running this one. Yeah, this is a fantastic boat. Really enjoyed my time with it. I really appreciate BGS Marine Sales here in Pensacola allowing me the time to give it a good in-depth review. If you need anything for your boat, or if you're looking for a boat, whether it is used or new, BGS can help you out. They also have a fabrication department that can build literally anything you can dream up, and their service and installation department is second to none. Those guys know what they're doing. They treat each boat like it's their own. They put a lot of attention into the work that they do, and if you are looking for something done right the first time, BGS is going to take care of you. Again, really appreciate them allowing me to use this boat. Hopefully we can get some more reviews coming y'all's way soon. We're a growing channel. If you like what you saw, if you made it to this point in the video, really would appreciate a like and subscribe. Thank you for joining us today. Again, we hope to do more reviews in the near future, and see you next time.